好，我们接下来呢，我们的神秘嘉宾来了，我们要再访一次这个美国的Trump 的最好的民间友人朋友。那么，搞不好有人说，就是因为我们访了他之后，所以震惊看民事被关了。为什么呢？因为他泄露天机啦。他告诉我们说，台湾需要一个强的总统，讲了3遍。好，没关系，震惊关不了，关不了震惊，所以我们哪壶不开提哪壶，我们再连线一次 Steve Bannon。Hello, Steve.
Hey, Dennis, how you doing?
Hi, pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, thank you for accepting our interview again. Okay, in a recent debate, if not dispute, on whether the DPP, the ruling party's primary election in Taiwan, was to promote democracy or to undermine party unity. What do you think of the significance and the value of the party's primary election in the United States?
Listen, I'm a big believer in primaries. I think it makes candidates better, and I think it really helps define inside of parties of what they stand for. Donald Trump would not have been president of the United States, would not have won the election against Hillary Clinton unless he had a very tough primary. The primary he had was very tough. There were 16 candidates, 16 major candidates, and Donald Trump beat the entire field. It's probably the strongest field the Republican Party ever faced, Dennis. And when it started in June of 15, when Trump came into the race, he was in 7th place. And so I think primaries perform a very good function. It makes candidates defend their record, and it forces candidates to have to be tough, have to be decisive, have to make strong arguments. So I'm a big believer in primaries. I've actually said, I don't think it's that big a problem if President Trump gets primary this year, even as an incumbent. I think it'll make him even a better candidate against the Democrats. Remember, the Democrats have over 20 major candidates running, and I think it's only going to help them in trying to find a candidate. So I'm a big believer in primaries.
Okay, were there conflict or political attacks in recent Republican primary elections?
Well, yeah, there were attacks. The attacks, look, it's called democracy. Democracy is very messy. You know, democracy is not the simplest form of government. It's not the most straightforward form of government. And the reason is that everybody gets a vote, and all your votes are equal. It's the most powerful way we have found to date in several thousand years of making sure that everybody gets a say-so. And in that process, it's very messy, can be very contentious, particularly politics in Taiwan, as people are very impassioned about it because the stakes are very high. So yes, there are always attacks and primaries. But I think it's, you see at the end of the day, that if people have a common core of belief, even if there are attacks, after they select a candidate in a primary process, they'll come together around the candidate to then fight the other side.
Yep. Okay, let's sweep the question to the President Tsai of Taiwan. She has tried every efforts, politically, publicly, or privately, to challenge her party presidential candidate, who is former Taiwan Premier William Lai, to be her vice president candidate instead of her rival in presidential primary election. What's your comment?
Well, look, it's for the Taiwanese people, and particularly for the DPP, to pick their own candidate. But, you know, you have two choices. One, you can try to form a unity ticket right off the bat and try to go forward with that. Or number two, you can actually have a primary and have both sides, you know, both candidates or other candidates really debate the issues of the day, and particularly how they're going to implement this. I think one of the big issues for Taiwan is actually how you're going to enforce your your liberation, your freedom. Right now, it's the freedom of Taiwan that's really the big question. You know, today, or the last couple of days, Dennis, it should be not lost on you. The United States Navy decided to send combatant ships. The USS Blue Ridge, I think, was one of them, which is the flagship of the 7th Fleet, through the Straits of Taiwan, in a show of force to support Taiwan, and a show of force to the Chinese, to the CCP. So, you know, the stakes are very high in Taiwan. And I think that that's why it's not just about, you know, what parties stand for, but how they're prepared to kind of fight for those and articulate those. So I think in that regard, primaries are actually turn out to be a good thing.
喜欢我们的影片，请在下方点下订阅按钮，也别忘了开启旁边的小铃铛。谢谢大家。